RJ Vishon, welcome back. Greetings to all of you. I'm RJ Vishon. I hope you're all well, on the side of good. I'm also well and on the side of good. We'll go to a new story. I'll read it exactly as it's written. I want you to read the story yourself. I can't speak in an organized way anyway, so I won't be able to write it very clearly either. I'll try to write it properly. Still, if there are mistakes, please look at them with forgiving eyes. I've just finished my GCSE exams. I've listened to horror shows since 2015, but I've listened to live shows very few times because I'm very cowardly by nature. I'm writing this story for the first time. The story I'm going to tell you happened with one of my aunts, and I myself was a witness. I don't know how you'll like it, but I have a strong urge to share it with you. After hearing it, many of you might say it's a made-up story. To them I say, this story is completely true. Nothing is made up. On the contrary, many things happened that I don't fully remember, so I couldn't write them. Still, believing it or not is up to you. The story is from the year 2014. I was in year 5 then. The person involved is named Tanya, and Tanya Aunt's younger sister's name is Tina. Tanya Aunt was then studying in her second year of college, and Tina was in year 4. First, let me describe our surroundings. Our house is in a village somewhere near Hertfordshire town. The distance between our house and Tanya Aunt's house is just a 6-7 feet wide lane. That's all. Meaning Tanya Aunt's house is right opposite ours. Since Tina and I went to the same primary school in our village, we used to go to school and come back together. We would play together at this house too. Although Tina was 1 or 1.5 years younger than me, we went to each other's houses a lot. Next to our house was a wood grove, and beyond that, a huge pond. Most of the time we played in their palan. You may already know that a wood grove is called palan in village language. That's what villagers call it. Among us who were playing, I was the oldest. We were playing shop. While playing, I noticed that Tanya Aunt was sitting alone quietly, a little away from that palan. She never sits alone like that. I had never seen her. Whenever I saw her, she would be talking to someone, doing work, always cheerful. So I thought maybe she was sad. Without paying much attention, I came back home. I observed her sitting quietly like that for many days. Then I saw her talking to herself. The girl who always plaited her hair. She forgot to braid her hair and just tied it up. Suddenly one night, a very loud scream. I was sleeping with my father and mother. All 3 of us woke up with a start. From outside, my grandfather said to my father, "Did you also hear this scream?" Father said, "Yes, I heard it." Grandfather said, "I've heard this sound before too." As you can imagine, my grandfather was very brave. After a while, grandfather came and said, "That big daughter of Ray, Tanya, she's been possessed by a Jinn. That's why she's screaming. Ray is with her. No need to worry. Go to sleep. Don't go out at night. Go see in the morning." He told my mother, Lucy's mother, "You don't go to Tanya's house anymore. Lucy, Amy, don't let anyone go." Lucy is my older sister's name, let me mention that. Your own father can also exorcise Jinn. So the next morning, I went to call Tina for school, very scared. I went and saw that Tanya Aunt was sitting at the door eating rice porridge and laughing while talking to her aunt. Seeing me, she said, "Amy, come eat some porridge." Without saying anything, I took Tina and came away. That day was Thursday, so our school happened to be closed. I came home, bathed, ate, and was about to go play. Then Mother said, "Do not go out during this afternoon time. You already saw that Tanya has been possessed by a Jinn. Stay home and watch TV." Saying this, Mother went to cook. I was watching TV. Just then, exactly like last night, another scream sound came into the house. I shivered in fear alone. I looked through the window and saw grandfather going towards their house. I also followed quietly. The TV was on, so Mother thought I was probably in the room. I quietly entered their house. They had a single tin house. Inside, they had kept a cupboard and a showcase in such a way that it worked like a wall separating the room. Tanya Aunt was sitting on a mat on the floor, and her aunt and one aunt-in-law were holding her down. From the next room, through the gap in the cupboard, I saw that my grandfather was also in that room. Tanya Aunt spoke in a heavy voice. "Let me go. I'll take Tanya and leave." Then a loud ha-ha, a loud laughter. Ray Uncle held his prayer beads, placed them on her head, and recited something. Verses from the Quran. Aunt fell unconscious. A little later, seeing all this, I ran back home in fear. Mother saw me and scolded me for going to their house. After that, I developed a fever. Mother brought holy water from a healer and made me drink it in the morning, because I had become very quiet from fear, and also had fever. After drinking the water, the fever gradually went away. I became mostly healthy and normal, but Tanya aunt's condition was getting worse day by day. Red blotches appeared on various parts of her body, as if someone had sucked the blood out from under her skin. The blood had clotted, dried, and she was becoming pale and white, as if there was no blood left in her body. Her tired body. You couldn't recognize the person. A few days later, I heard that today the Jinn would be summoned. A healer, a kabiraj, would come at midnight. The summoning would happen. That day somehow passed. I couldn't sleep at night. While thinking about things, I fell asleep without realizing when. In the morning, I heard from them what had happened at night. At midnight, the whole house was darkened. Aunt was seated on a bed, and various types of exorcism were performed. The Jinn was summoned. In the room were Tanya, aunt, Ray uncle, my grandfather, and Tanya, aunt's uncle. That kabiraj asked the Jinn that was inside aunt. The Jinn inside answered, "What's your name?" "Imkali." "From where did you possess Tanya?" The Jinn kept laughing. "Since when have you possessed her?" Even before birth." Ray forced me. "Ray forgot. Your first 2 sons, I ate them. Then because it was a daughter, I didn't eat her, thinking I'd take her away. One day at the 3-road crossing in front of the primary school, I saw her returning home in the evening with her hair loose. So various conversations happened. When they finished, everyone left. The man said, "Tomorrow night, bring 1,000 candles, a new pair of sandals, and some other things." Part 3 ends here. Continue with Part 4. Later I heard that grandfather had asked Ray uncle if he recognized this Jinn Kaylee. Ray uncle had met this Jinn a few times before. A few months before Ray uncle's wedding, he had, by the grace of Allah, successfully cured 2 Jinn-possessed patients. But he'd made 2 mistakes. First, the 2 Jinn had asked for goats to be offered, and they were not given. The second mistake, 1 Jinn had told him to leave 1 kilogram of sweets under a banyan tree. But Ray uncle ate those sweets himself, and while returning home via the pond, that Jinn grabbed him by the neck and squeezed. Then, the Jinn itself said, at 1 a.m. at night, light candles all over the yard, and in the middle only aunt and that kabiraj would sit. Then the Jinn would be summoned, and various exorcisms would be performed. The Jinn agreed to leave aunt. Then through the middle of the yard, exactly the way a 6-7-month-old baby crawls, it crawled away. The candles started going out. After going some distance, it fell unconscious at that palan. Later, the kabiraj tied a talisman on aunt's left wrist and said, "As long as this talisman is with her, that Jinn cannot do anything. But if ever the talisman is opened, that Jinn will keep watch. Danger will happen." Then 3 years passed. Aunt got married without any problems. But one day, I was sitting in your house chatting. I was then in year 8, Tina in year 7. We were discussing these things. Tanya aunt came and joined us. I was sitting on a chair, Tina on aunt's bed. Suddenly aunt said, "I feel like I can't breathe." Slowly she started breathing again, just like that day, and her eyes were widening. Suddenly I noticed that aunt didn't have that talisman on her hand. I said, "Your talisman is gone?" She ran to the bathroom and saw that the talisman was hanging on a nail. She brought it back. I recited various verses from the Quran and tied the talisman on her left hand again. Then she fell asleep. After that, until today, by the grace of Allah, no more problems have occurred. Tanya aunt is doing very well. She's become the mother of 2 daughters. We see each other, we talk. This was the story. If you like it, please read it aloud. I've read it aloud. I hope you like this story. The story was sent by Sandy Islam from Hertfordshire, UK. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please do let us know. We'll go to our next story.